Hello, my name is Håkan and welcome to Fly Tying with Pro Sportfisher. Today we will be tying salmon fly. The fly in the vise is the classic silver grey pattern. We won't be tying this fully dressed version, but nowadays a lot of people use these old patterns and create their own with tube flies or just ordinary hook flies. So we will be doing sort of a version of this classic pattern. And I will switch the jaw. For the tube yaw from Regal Vise. Pro Sportfisher makes these plastic tubes that are called flexi tube, and as you can see is two different thickness of the tube that are welded together, and this gives us options to tie in different ways. I would say you could either tie the fly just right on to the tube. In this case you will be tie the body and everything on the thicker part of the tube and just finish the fly on the thinner part with the cone head and everything. Another option is to put some metal tube on top of this plastic tube. In this case I've cut the flexi tube shorter and then I put one of these metal flexi tubes to make the body, and then we just tie the hackle and the wing and finish the fly with the cone head. And there are more options. You can do the same, but instead of using the cone head to finish the flies, you can use this ultrasonic disc, which gives more movement in the water. Same way, the body, and then you tie the wing and just finish with the the sonic disc. And if you want to do the same, but you want some smaller flies, you just cut the tube shorter, and in this case I've used a more concentrated heavy weight we call drop weight for the body. And you do the same, put the metal tube on and just finish the fly. And finally you can do the same, but if you don't want as heavy as the drop weight, you can use this. This is called the bullet weight. And you just tie the flies as we did before. So we will be doing the fly with the metal tube called flexi weight. So we start with the plastic tube. And to make this work, we also have a special needle, a tube needle for this, which is matching these flexi tubes perfectly. And it's very easy to put in your vise, any type of vise actually. And then we attach the flexi onto the tube. Oh, sorry. So, and then we tie the fly. Set the thread. It doesn't look exactly the coloration as the classic fly, but we want to use the sort of silver and the grey shades because this is sort of a sunny weather fly for clear waters. So I start with the first hackle, which is a soft hackle in grizzly. We just tie it in front of the flexi tube. Like this, and make a couple of turns. As you can see, I left some of the fluffy fibers. I haven't pulled all the fluff away from the feather because it gives nice movement for this hackle as well. So just tie it in and we cut off. And then the wing is made of marble fox and natural silver fox. So we start with white marble fox for the underwing, Just cut off a bunch. And then I use a brush to pull off all the unnecessary underfur. Make sure it's slightly tapered. And just tie it in on top. We cut off. And I want to add a bit of flash. I just use silver angel hair. Pinch out a few fibers. Put it on top of the wing. And tie it in. And just fold over. And tie down. And then we just cut off the flash to make it, well, as long as the wing, or slightly longer. There we are. I could use sort of teal or widgeon for the next front hackle, but I'm using this, the Whiting Coq-de-Lion hen cape, which has a really nice marked feather. Soft fibers, but still standing out and move in the water. So just take a big hackle with longer fibers than the first one. And we tie it in and make a couple of turns in front of the grizzly and the first wing. Lovely speckled markings on that hackle. And then we just tie it down. And on top of this, we're using natural silver fox, which has a gray shade with darker tips, as you can see. We don't need a thick, heavy wing, just a quite thin one, so you can see the flash shining through. So this will be sort of a gray roof on top of the wing. Slightly longer than the white wing. And I tried to spread out the fibers of the hair to sort of cover the white wing and the hackle. That's nice. Cut off. And just as a sort of topping on top, I will be using some peacock herl. And as you can see, I'm using the herl from the sort of the eye of the feather, because it has a natural turn, so it can follow the wing, and they are long enough to cover even the longest hair wing. So I just cut off 2 fibers from each side of the stem. We start with 2 on the closest side of the wing, and you can see it almost follows the wing, but if you need to bend it a bit more, you just pull it over your thumbnail. You can see it curves much more. And now we just tie them in slightly on your side, like that. And then we take 2 fibers from the other side of the stem of the eye feather. Let's see. Make sure they are even and long, and maybe I curved it slightly more. And just tie it down. And then we have add some more shininess to the wing as well, and sort of combine it all. And for the sides of this fly, we are using Jungle Cook, but we're using the Pro Sportfisher Jungle Cook substitute. And this comes in different sizes, so you can actually get the right size for the size of the fly. This is the size small, which is perfect for this length of the fly. And these are pre-cut when they come. So just cut off the ends with the scissors, and then you have the feathers. And then you just tie them in on each side. And on the other side as well. Yep. And then I'll just finish with a simple knot. We cut off. And then I just add some sort of super glue or similar just above the head, and let it soak in to the head and to the end of the wing. And then just pull a cone head. This is the pro cone above. Make sure it sits there. And the final touch is to cut off most of the tube, just leaving a couple of millimeters, and then use a lighter to melt it, catching the cone head, and then I put it over just to make sure I have a hole in the tube. And there you have sort of a silver gray tube tied on the flexi tube using Pro Jungle Cook substitute.